If a girl shares this with you, you're special to her. High-value men, Stoic life lessons. A woman reveals her true feelings in subtle ways. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Ever wondered if you're truly important to her, or if you're just another face in the crowd? It can be confusing, even frustrating, when her signals are hard to read. But today, we're diving straight into the hidden gestures a woman only shares with someone she genuinely values. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll no longer have to guess if you're special to her. You'll know. Let's break it down. Welcome to Win Stoic. 1. Her vulnerabilities. If a girl begins to open up about her vulnerabilities, her fears, insecurities, or even past traumas, it's one of the clearest signs you're more than just another person passing through her life. Vulnerability isn't something that comes naturally to most people, particularly women who often carry societal pressures to be strong and independent. By revealing these parts of herself, she's showing you she trusts you on a deeper level. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." In the same way, when she chooses to share her most personal struggles with you, it's her way of saying, "I trust that you will not judge or hurt me." This is an opportunity to demonstrate your own Stoic strength, remaining calm, collected, and supportive when someone entrusts you with their emotional burdens. But what does this mean in the broader sense of a relationship? It means that she feels safe with you, not just physically but emotionally as well. Stoicism today teaches us to appreciate these moments of openness, recognizing that they bring an opportunity for growth, not just for her, but for you as well. When someone shows their vulnerabilities, they are offering you a window into their soul, allowing you to build a more meaningful connection. Your response in these moments is crucial. Practicing Stoic happiness doesn't mean detaching yourself from emotions or downplaying the significance of someone's pain, but rather approaching it with calm rationality and offering a safe space for them to express themselves. The goal is not to fix every problem they present, but to be a stable, understanding presence, which often holds more value than immediate solutions. As modern men, we can sometimes get caught up in the rush of life. Our careers, our goals, the constant hustle. It's easy to overlook the importance of deep, emotional connections, but relationships are a critical part of our well-being, as any true Stoic will acknowledge. The deeper the connection, the more fulfilling the relationship becomes, and understanding her vulnerabilities is the gateway to that connection. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Her vulnerabilities might seem like impediments at first, issues you don't know how to solve, or emotions that feel heavy, but they are actually the path forward. They offer an opportunity for you to show your strength as a high-value man, not by trying to solve everything, but by being present, understanding, and offering unwavering support. In today's world, it's easy to get lost in surface-level interactions. Swipe left, swipe right, brief conversations, and fleeting moments of connection. But if you're truly looking to build something substantial, you have to be prepared to go deeper. If she shares her vulnerabilities with you, she's already decided you're worth it. This is your moment to prove that you value her trust and that you can rise to the occasion as a high-value man. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes not from controlling others, but from mastering ourselves. When you listen to her without judgment, without rushing to fix or downplay her fears, you demonstrate that you're a man who understands the power of restraint, reflection, and inner peace. So, the next time she opens up to you, don't take it lightly. This is her way of inviting you into a more intimate part of her life, and your response will define the depth of your relationship moving forward. Be the calm in her storm, the solid ground she can rely on. This is not just about romantic love, it's about human connection, one of the greatest sources of Stoic happiness. By embracing this role, you're not only helping her to feel more secure, but you're also embodying the principles of Stoicism today. Show her that she's special to you, not through grand gestures or hollow promises, but by simply being the man who stays steady when things get rough. In the end, that's what truly makes a high-value man stand out. So do you want to be a high-value man? If so, comment, "I want." And welcome to the world of high-value men. 2. Her dreams and aspirations. When a woman shares her dreams and aspirations with you, it's not just about small talk or casual conversation, it's much deeper. When she talks about her future goals, be it career aspirations, travel dreams, or personal growth ambitions, she's letting you into a part of her life that she holds close. By sharing these with you, she's signaling that she values your presence and wants you to be a part of her journey. This is not something she would do with just anyone. It's a clear sign that she sees you as someone special, someone whose opinion she values, and someone she can potentially envision walking alongside her in the future. If you listen carefully, you might notice something even more telling. She might begin to shift her language from I to we when discussing her dreams. It's subtle but incredibly powerful, indicating that she doesn't just see you as a temporary companion, but someone she envisions sharing her life with in the long run. Consider this. In today's world, where so many people are preoccupied with personal success and individual pursuits, it takes something extra for someone to invite you into their plans for the future. A story that comes to mind is about a friend of mine who was dating someone for a few months. At first, their conversations revolved around everyday things, work, hobbies, and casual interests. But one day, she opened up about her dream of starting her own business and how she envisioned balancing her career with family life. What struck him was when she said, "We could travel the world together after we've built a solid foundation." That was the moment he realized she wasn't just thinking about her own path. She was thinking about their path. She was inviting him to join her in creating a shared vision of the future, which deepened their connection on a whole new level. That subtle shift in language was a sign that she saw him as more than just a temporary partner. She saw him as someone special enough to build a life with. And this is what makes the Stoic mindset so crucial for high-value men. It's about being present in these moments, recognizing when someone is opening up and sharing something significant with you, and understanding how to respond thoughtfully and with purpose. It's easy to get caught up in your own world and overlook these signals, but the key to mastering relationships is being aware and engaging with intention. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation like this, where someone was inviting you to be a part of something bigger, and you missed the cue? It happens, but with the right mindset, you can learn to spot these subtle signs and act accordingly. As a high-value man, learning to identify and appreciate these moments not only strengthens your relationships, but also positions you as a trusted long-term partner. It's not about rushing into anything or making assumptions. It's about cultivating a stoic mindset, staying calm, and being fully present in every interaction. So next time a woman shares her dreams with you, don't just listen, engage, ask questions, and show that you're invested in her vision. Ask yourself, are you truly paying attention when someone opens up about their future? Or are you too focused on your own journey to notice the invitation being extended to you? The lesson here is simple. When a woman includes you in her dreams, it's a powerful indication that she sees you as a special part of her future. Pay attention, engage meaningfully, and remember that building a shared vision takes time and presence. By doing so, you embody the principles of the Stoic mindset and win Stoic approach to life, balancing personal strength with the ability to connect deeply with others. 3. Her family dynamics. When a girl opens up about her family dynamics, it's much more than just casual conversation. It's a window into her world, a place where trust is the cornerstone. Family relationships, as you know, are incredibly intricate and often come with layers of emotion, history, and personal challenges. If a girl begins to share the intimate details of her upbringing, or if she reveals the complex and often difficult relationships with her parents or siblings, it's a clear sign that you hold a special place in her life. Think about it. These are the parts of her life that she doesn't broadcast to just anyone. By sharing such personal information, she's allowing you to see where she comes from, both literally and figuratively, which means she views you as someone trustworthy and significant. This goes beyond surface-level attraction. She's inviting you to understand the roots of her personality, her values, and perhaps even some of her insecurities. Stoic life lessons teach us that trust is earned, not given lightly, and by confiding in you, she's offering a piece of herself that's deeply personal. Now consider the emotional weight of sharing family secrets or sensitive matters that she might otherwise keep hidden. This isn't just about opening up, it's about vulnerability. Sharing family secrets that aren't widely known means she feels safe with you, and in the framework of Stoicism, it's a signal that she sees you as someone strong enough to handle the truth of her life. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This quote is particularly relevant here. When she opens up, your role is not just to hear the words, but to truly listen and understand. Listening is an action, and by doing so, you solidify that bond of trust she's beginning to build. How does this apply to your Stoic life lessons? It's about emotional resilience and awareness, being present in the moment and recognizing the weight of the information being shared with you. What is Stoicism, if not the ability to maintain composure and wisdom in both your words and your silence? In addition, if she invites you to family events, this is a profound gesture. It may seem like just another invitation, but in reality, it's a step toward integrating you into her inner circle. Family events are usually reserved for those she feels are worthy of meeting the people who shaped her life. It's not about formality, but about connection. This shows that she's serious about the relationship, whether it's a friendship or something more romantic. You've moved from being just a person she spends time with to someone she wants in her personal life, someone she trusts enough to meet her family. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This wisdom reminds us that relationships are not built on quick emotional decisions, but on deep, reflective understanding. She's showing you her family, the good, the bad, and everything in between. And in doing so, she's asking you to be patient, understanding, and non-judgmental. Have you ever wondered why she chose you to confide in? This isn't a coincidence. She likely sees qualities in you that align with the Stoic principles of strength, composure, and emotional control. Perhaps you've already demonstrated to her that you're not someone who gets easily rattled, or that you value depth in conversations. Maybe she feels that you offer her a safe space to be her authentic self without the fear of judgment. In a world where so many interactions are shallow and fleeting, her decision to share such intimate aspects of her life with you speaks volumes about your character and the way she perceives your relationship. Are you ready to handle that kind of trust? The act of sharing family dynamics, especially the complex or less than perfect aspects, means that she's looking for more than just a superficial connection. It's easy to talk about hobbies, interests, or favorite movies, but diving into the intricacies of family life, that's another level of intimacy entirely. If she's opening up to you about her family, it's because she sees something in you that's worth sharing her life with. And this is where Stoicism comes in again. What is Stoicism if not the art of managing emotional intensity? By staying grounded when she shares her vulnerabilities, you are practicing one of the most essential Stoic life lessons: the ability to provide emotional stability not just for yourself, but for those who trust you. Remember, the next time she tells you about a tough conversation she had with her parents or a childhood memory that shaped who she is today, she's not just talking to fill the silence. She's trusting you with a part of her that she doesn't give to everyone. And here's where an open-ended question can change the game. Have you ever considered what it takes for someone to feel safe enough to share their deepest personal stories? This question isn't just for you to ponder, it's for you to ask yourself as you navigate this special connection with her. Are you the kind of man who is ready to handle that level of trust? And more importantly, are you willing to rise to the occasion by being the emotionally stable and understanding person she needs? By sharing her family dynamics with you, she's inviting you into a part of her world that is reserved for those she values most. Don't underestimate the significance of this gesture. In Stoic philosophy, the most important relationships are those built on trust and mutual respect. So, the next time she shares, remember that she's not looking for advice or solutions. She's looking for understanding. And if you can offer her that, you'll have taken a step beyond just being another guy in her life. You'll be someone who stands out, someone she can rely on in the most meaningful way. This is what Stoicism teaches us: to be steadfast, reliable and wise in our interactions, especially with those who trust us the most. So are you ready to embrace that role in her life, or will you let this opportunity pass by? If you're sure to take this opportunity, comment 1. Or let this opportunity pass because you are not really confident, comment 2. 4. Her daily minutiae. When a woman begins to share the seemingly mundane details of her daily life with you, the coffee she spilled this morning, the odd remark her co-worker made, or even the catchy song that's been looping in her head, don't dismiss it as trivial. This act holds far more weight than you might realize. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In this case, her thoughts are frequently drifting toward you. She's weaving you into the fabric of her everyday existence, subtly but unmistakably. When someone incorporates you into the small, inconspicuous moments of their life, it's a clear indication that you hold a special place in their heart. This form of communication may seem unremarkable on the surface, but beneath it lies something profound. It's a habit, one that she's forming deliberately or subconsciously to keep you close to her. As men striving to be high value and adopting Stoic principles, it's essential to recognize the significance of this connection. It's not about the specifics of what she shares, but the intention behind it. In Stoicism today, we learn the power of understanding deeper meanings beneath surface-level actions. This kind of communication mirrors the idea that happiness isn't found in grand gestures, but in the small, consistent actions that build relationships. Stoic happiness, as Epictetus taught, lies in our ability to accept and appreciate the present moment, to value what is offered to us without yearning for something more extravagant. In modern life, where distractions and superficial connections are rampant, her choice to share her daily minutiae with you is a quiet yet powerful affirmation of trust and intimacy. She is, in her own way, making you a part of her inner world. Instead of dismissing or downplaying these small shares, consider them as tiny windows into her life that she's choosing to open for you. This is her way of expressing that you are more than just a fleeting thought. You are a constant presence. In the hustle and bustle of life, people tend to reserve their daily details for those they deeply care about. It takes effort to remember and recount the minor details of one's day. And if she's doing that with you, it's a gesture of genuine fondness. Take this as an opportunity to strengthen your bond by acknowledging the value of this act. Respond thoughtfully, not to the specifics, but to the fact that she's included you. This creates a deeper connection because you're showing that you understand her intentions. As a man guided by Stoicism, you understand that it's not about trying to impress her with grand responses or romanticized gestures. It's about being present, about showing that you appreciate her for who she is, including the minutiae of her day. In today's fast-paced world, where meaningful connections can often feel rare, her consistent sharing signifies that you are someone she trusts, someone she wants to keep close. And this is the essence of a high-value relationship, one that's built on trust, respect, and understanding, not on fleeting attractions. So, the next time she texts you about something seemingly insignificant, don't overlook its value. Embrace it as a sign that you're special to her and that she's allowing you to occupy a meaningful space in her world. 5. Her unfiltered thoughts. When a girl opens up and shares her unfiltered thoughts with you, those random observations or quirky opinions she normally keeps to herself, it's a significant sign that you're special to her. Think about it. Most people are selective about what they share, especially when it comes to their deeper thoughts, the ones that may seem a little odd or go against the grain. If she's telling you about that strange thought she had while daydreaming or expressing her true feelings about a movie everyone seems to love but she hates, it's because she trusts you. She's not afraid of judgment. She's confident that you'll accept her for who she really is, quirks and all. This level of openness signals comfort, trust, and emotional intimacy. Now, consider this. How many times have you censored yourself to fit in, hiding parts of who you are because you're worried about being judged? We all do it to some extent. But when someone feels secure enough to reveal their raw, unpolished thoughts to you, it's a rare and valuable connection. This is where the Stoic mindset comes into play. A high-value man, one who practices Stoicism, understands that accepting others as they are, without judgment, is a cornerstone of building meaningful relationships. A high-value man is steady and emotionally grounded, creating a space where people, especially women, feel safe to express themselves freely. And when she shares these uncensored thoughts, it's not just idle chatter. It's a sign that she's letting you into her inner world, something that's reserved only for those she truly values. Let me give you a story that illustrates this perfectly. Imagine you're at a coffee shop with a woman you've been seeing for a few weeks. Out of nowhere, she starts talking about a bizarre dream she had where she was running a zoo filled with invisible animals. Or maybe she dives into a passionate rant about how she thinks a certain critically acclaimed film is wildly overrated. It might seem random, but these are glimpses into her authentic self. She's testing the waters, seeing if you'll still respect her, even when she's not presenting the polished version of herself. If you respond with interest rather than judgment, it shows that you're someone she can rely on to be accepting, and that's incredibly powerful in a relationship. So, how do you respond when someone shares these personal, unfiltered thoughts with you? Do you brush them off, or do you see the deeper connection being offered? This is where you must rise as a high-value man, applying the Stoic mindset of understanding, patience, and acceptance. Remember, a true win in relationships doesn't come from flashy displays of dominance or charm. It comes from creating a space where she feels valued and accepted. And that's what makes you stand out. Your ability to offer emotional stability in a world that often feels unstable. The key takeaway here is that if she's comfortable enough to share her most unfiltered thoughts with you, she's signaling that you hold a unique place in her life. But it's up to you to foster that trust. Will you create a space for her to be her true self? Will you apply the principles of Stoicism and remain grounded, accepting her as she is? If you do, not only will you build stronger connections, but you'll also strengthen your own sense of self and purpose. After all, the Win Stoic path is not just about personal power. It's about mastering the art of creating value in relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual growth. Do you agree with this? If so, comment, "Yes, I agree," or if you disagree, comment, "I have a different opinion." 6. Her personal space. When a girl invites you into her personal space, she's offering more than just access to her physical environment. She's inviting you into her world, her comfort zone. This might be her apartment, her room, or even a special place from her past, like her childhood home. These spaces aren't just random locations. They are deeply personal reflections of who she is. Every room, every object holds memories, and by allowing you into these sacred spaces, she's giving you a glimpse into her life on a much deeper level. It's as if she's peeling back the layers of her external self to show you the things that matter most to her. When a girl feels comfortable enough to bring you into these areas, she's not only physically making room for you, she's making emotional room for you too. She's sending a message. You're important enough to be here. What's more revealing than the invitation itself is how she behaves once you're in her personal space. Is she relaxed, unguarded, maybe even vulnerable? Pay close attention. If she's able to be herself around you without putting up a front, it means she trusts you. Trust is the bedrock of any deep connection. In Stoic life lessons, trust and mutual respect are pivotal. Think about it. What does it say about someone who feels safe enough to let you see them in their most authentic form? That's what you're witnessing when she's at ease with you in her personal space. This isn't just about being in her home. It's about being inside her comfort zone. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If her thoughts around you are peaceful and untroubled, it's a strong indication that you mean something significant to her. So, when she invites you in, it's more than just a casual gesture. It's a reflection of the thoughts and feelings she holds for you. Now, let's take this even further. Her personal space can also reveal a lot about her personality and values. The items she surrounds herself with tell a story, whether it's family photos, books, artwork, or even the way she decorates her living space. Each of these items is a window into her soul, offering insights into her experiences, passions, and the things that make her feel at home. Ask yourself, what do these personal touches reveal about her? By being attentive, you can learn a great deal about her character, her likes and dislikes, without her even having to say a word. What is Stoicism, if not the practice of observing and learning through careful reflection? Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." If you can appreciate the subtleties of what she shares with you, you'll come to realize that true wealth lies in the connections we form, not in material possessions. Please comment "awesome." But here's a key point to remember. Just because she invites you into her space doesn't mean you should take it for granted. On the contrary, you should see it as a privilege, one that many might not be offered. Are you reciprocating by being fully present, or are you too distracted by your own thoughts to notice the gift she's giving you? In Stoic life lessons, being mindful and aware of the moment is essential. As Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you're in a space, listen to what's unspoken. Pay attention to the little details. How she moves, how she speaks, and what she chooses to show you. These things speak volumes about her comfort and affection for you. Another important aspect is this. If she feels comfortable in her personal space with you, she may open up emotionally in ways she doesn't in more public settings. This is where you might hear her talk about deeper topics, her dreams, fears, or even childhood memories. If she feels safe enough to share these with you, it's a sign that she's starting to trust you on a more intimate level. This is where you should be asking yourself, am I listening with my full attention? Am I present? Being fully engaged in the moment is a principle that not only strengthens relationships, but also aligns with the tenets of Stoicism. Remember, being present in her world means showing her that you value what she has to say and who she is. It's crucial to understand that these moments in her personal space are often when she's at her most genuine. She's not trying to impress anyone. She's simply being herself. That's why it's essential to honor these invitations. Are you showing up as your best self, or are you letting your guard down too much? Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of balance, remaining calm and composed, yet open and receptive. As you spend time in her personal space, consider how your presence makes her feel. Are you adding value to the space, or are you just a visitor passing through? The goal, as a high-value man, is to enhance her life in a meaningful way, not just take up space. So let's put it all together. When a girl shares her personal space with you, it's a sign that you're special to her. But don't just assume that this invitation means everything will stay that way. Are you fully aware of the significance of this gesture? Are you paying attention to what she's showing you, both through her actions and the environment she's created? Open yourself up to truly understanding her world, and in doing so, you may find a deeper connection forming. What does Stoicism teach us, if not the value of meaningful relationships? The greatest connections are formed when two people feel truly seen and understood. And here's the big question. Are you ready to be the kind of man who not only enters her personal space, but also values and honors it? The answer to that question could be the difference between a fleeting moment and a lasting bond. Stoic life lessons remind us that true relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and trust, qualities that can only be nurtured when both parties feel safe to be their authentic selves. 7. Her past relationships. When a woman chooses to open up about her past relationships, it's not just casual conversation. It's a deep signal that she sees something unique in you, something that makes her feel secure enough to reveal the complexities of her past. Think about it. Why would anyone share their most vulnerable stories unless they saw potential for something real and lasting? By sharing the good, the bad and the ugly, she's not just reflecting on her journey, but inviting you to understand her better. This isn't merely about recounting failed love stories. It's about showing you where she's been so you can understand the lessons she's learned along the way and where she wants to go from here, with you, potentially, by her side. This vulnerability is a mark of trust, and as Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In this case, she's sharing her thoughts, her hopes, and maybe even her fears, and she's trusting that you'll see her beyond her past. As she shares her experiences, it's important to listen actively without judgment. Stoic wisdom teaches us to separate what we can control from what we cannot, and her past is something you can't change. But what you can do is understand how it shaped the person in front of you. It's not just about hearing the details, but about recognizing the emotional weight behind them. The fact that she feels safe enough to expose these parts of her life indicates that she views you as a high-value man, someone worthy of seeing her scars without flinching. This level of openness creates a foundation for a deeper connection, and in today's world, where relationships often feel superficial, such authenticity is rare. Modern life is filled with distractions and shallow interactions, but when someone invites you into their inner world, They're offering you a chance to be part of something real. This is the essence of Stoic happiness, where contentment comes from deep, meaningful connections rather than fleeting pleasures. But how do you respond to such openness? It's not enough to just listen. You must also reflect this trust back. In Stoicism today, mutual respect and emotional strength are key elements of any strong relationship. A high-value man doesn't shy away from vulnerability. He welcomes it with wisdom and patience. This is your opportunity to show that you're not just there for the good times, but that you can handle the truth of who she is. Just as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In this moment, how you respond can either solidify the bond or create distance. Don't get caught up in the details of her past relationships. Instead, focus on what this openness says about the future she might want with you. Her willingness to discuss her past is a sign that she values honesty and growth, qualities that are essential for building a lasting partnership. It's also a reminder that everyone has baggage, but the strength of your character lies in how you carry it, both for yourself and for others. When she shares these personal stories, she's essentially saying, "I'm ready for something real, and I want to see if you are too." So, as you listen to her recount her past, remember that this is a stepping stone towards a deeper connection. Embrace it with the Stoic mindset of understanding, patience, and emotional resilience. And if you reciprocate this vulnerability with the same level of trust and openness, you'll find yourself on the path not only to a meaningful relationship, but to a deeper sense of Stoic happiness that comes from genuine human connection. 8. Her biggest fears. When a woman shares her deepest fears with you, it's not something to take lightly. This is her showing you a side of herself that she doesn't reveal to just anyone. These aren't the small, everyday anxieties we all experience, but the significant fears that keep her awake at night. By opening up about these personal, often painful parts of her inner world, she's demonstrating an extraordinary level of trust. It's her way of saying, "I trust you enough to handle this part of me." In the world we live in today, where vulnerability can often be seen as a weakness, for her to choose you to confide in shows that you occupy a special place in her life. This kind of sharing is not only about her exposing her vulnerability, but it's also an implicit plea for understanding and support. She's telling you that she sees you as someone she can lean on, someone who can help her bear the emotional weight of her fears. And it's in this moment that you, as a high-value man, must respond with the Stoic mindset that she needs. Not with quick solutions, but with presence, patience, and the calm assurance that you're there for her. Think about a time in your own life when you've had to share something that scared you deeply. Maybe it was a fear of failure or a secret insecurity that you hadn't told anyone else. Who did you turn to? And why did you choose them? Was it because they had the answers to your problems, or was it because they made you feel safe just by being there? That's the same dynamic at play here. When a woman opens up about her fears, she's not asking you to fix them for her. She's asking for emotional support, for you to be a strong foundation when her own emotions might be shaking. I once had a friend who told me that the most meaningful relationship she ever had was with a man who didn't try to solve all her problems, but who listened intently whenever she talked about what troubled her. He wasn't about grand gestures or sweeping promises. Instead, he offered her the one thing she valued most, a quiet, unwavering presence. And that made all the difference. Now take a moment and ask yourself, what do you think it means when someone trusts you with their biggest fears? How would you feel if you were in their shoes, baring your soul and hoping for understanding? It's not just a casual moment. This is a window into her world, and how you respond will either solidify the bond you share or erode the trust she's placed in you. As a high-value man with a Stoic mindset, your role isn't to panic or dismiss her concerns. It's to be the rock she can depend on, offering her the comfort of knowing that she's not alone in her struggles. This is how you deepen your connection with her, how you become someone she looks up to as a source of strength and calm in the storm. So, what's the lesson here? It's simple but powerful. When a woman shares her deepest fears, she's giving you a rare glimpse into her heart. She's telling you that you matter to her in a way that not many others do. Don't rush to fix everything. Sometimes the best thing you can do is listen, show empathy, and stand by her side as she navigates her own battles. Because in the end, the man who knows how to offer quiet strength and unwavering support is the man she'll never forget. This is the essence of what it means to embody the Stoic mindset, win Stoic, and be a true high-value man. Please comment, I am a man of real value. 9. Her embarrassing moments. When a girl shares her most embarrassing moments with you, it's more than just a funny story. It's a sign of trust and vulnerability that goes deeper than most people realize. Think about it. We all have awkward moments we wish we could forget, and most of us go to great lengths to keep those tucked away. These are the stories that people don't usually bring up because they want to maintain a certain image, perhaps to seem confident, put together, or in control. But when she feels comfortable enough to share these moments with you, she's letting down her guard. She's showing you that she's not afraid to be real, to be human. And that's not something everyone gets to see. She trusts you not to judge her for those moments, but instead to appreciate her authenticity and vulnerability. As Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And this applies here as well. Don't just listen to her stories passively, but understand what they represent. A deeper connection built on trust and acceptance. She's not trying to impress you with perfection. She's showing you that she values your relationship enough to be her imperfect self, knowing you'll see past those little slip-ups. This is one of the core principles of what Stoic life lessons are all about. Accepting people as they are, without judgment, and fostering relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. It's about seeing the deeper meaning behind actions and knowing that true strength lies in emotional honesty. Think about the idea of what is Stoicism in this context. It's not just about being strong or indifferent, but also about embracing vulnerability and the courage to be yourself in a world that often pushes for perfection. Ask yourself this: how do you respond when someone shares their most embarrassing stories with you? Do you laugh with them, or do you quietly judge? The way you react to these moments can either build or break the trust someone places in you. By listening and accepting her awkward moments without making her feel small, you're showing that you're someone worth confiding in. You're showing her that you're not just there for the good times, but also for the moments that make her cringe. And let's be honest, we've all been there, right? Everyone has embarrassing stories, but not everyone feels safe enough to share them. So if she's opening up to you, that's something special. She's letting you into her inner world, the unpolished version of herself that not everyone gets to see. This brings up a bigger question. In your relationships, are you creating an environment where people feel comfortable being themselves? As Epictetus wisely said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Think about that. Are you really listening when someone opens up, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Are you creating a space of judgment, or are you showing understanding and empathy? In Stoicism, there's a strong emphasis on accepting reality as it is, including the imperfections in ourselves and others. This doesn't mean you lower your standards, but rather you approach relationships with a sense of balance, recognizing that true connection isn't about finding someone who's flawless, but about accepting and appreciating someone despite their flaws. Sharing embarrassing stories may seem trivial on the surface, but it's a powerful indicator of how comfortable she feels around you. It's a sign that she's starting to see you as someone she can trust, someone who won't hold her mistakes against her. And that's rare in a world where many people are quick to judge or dismiss others for their imperfections. If she's willing to show you the sides of her that she normally keeps hidden, it's a clear sign that you've made an impact on her. And this kind of trust is a two-way street. Are you also being open with her, or are you still holding back, trying to maintain an image? Trust, after all, is built on reciprocity. When she shares her vulnerabilities, are you offering yours in return? Remember, real connections are built on authenticity, not on trying to be perfect. This brings us back to Stoic life lessons. One of the fundamental teachings in Stoicism is that we cannot control how others act, but we can control how we respond. You can't force someone to trust you or open up to you, but you can create an environment where they feel safe to do so. And when someone feels safe enough to share their most embarrassing moments with you, they're showing you that they feel emotionally secure in your presence. So, what are you doing to cultivate that? Are you showing up as a reliable, understanding person in your relationships? Or are you quick to judge when someone reveals their less than perfect side? Ask yourself, what do you value more in your connections with others? Their polished public persona, or their genuine, sometimes messy, true self? This is a key question that will help you determine the depth of your relationships. If you only appreciate someone when they're at their best, you're missing out on the richness of who they really are. But if you can appreciate them when they're vulnerable, when they're real, then you're building something that can last. This is the essence of what is Stoicism, finding strength not just in perfection, but in accepting and embracing the imperfect reality of life and relationships. In the end, it's the unguarded moments, the awkward laughter, the shared cringes that create the strongest bonds. So the next time she shares an embarrassing story with you, don't just laugh it off. Acknowledge the trust behind it, and let it be a reminder that real connections are built on mutual acceptance. And if you want to take this connection further, maybe even ask her about the lessons she's learned from those awkward moments. After all, Stoic life lessons teach us that every experience, no matter how small, has something to offer in the grand scheme of personal growth. What have you learned from your own awkward moments? And how can those lessons make you a better partner, a better listener, a better person? 10. her future with you. When a woman starts to talk about a future that includes you, it's not just casual conversation. It's one of the clearest signs that you're special to her and that she sees you as a lasting part of her life. Whether she mentions upcoming events, vacations, or even gives subtle hints about moving in together or shared experiences down the line, these are her ways of signaling that she's envisioning a life with you. For men learning the principles of Stoicism today, it's important to recognize that in relationships, as in life, actions and intentions often speak louder than words. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when her thoughts are filled with plans that involve you, it shows that your presence has become integral to her future. Stoic happiness is rooted in understanding the present and accepting things as they come, but that doesn't mean ignoring the natural progression of a relationship when a woman expresses her feelings in this way. In modern life, it's easy to get caught up in the fast pace of things and overlook the subtle cues someone gives us, especially when they reveal their deeper emotions and commitment. If a woman shares her dreams, aspirations, and thoughts about a future that involves you, it means she values the relationship and wants to invest in building something meaningful together. This is where Stoicism today comes into play. By practicing patience and mindfulness, you can appreciate her gestures without rushing or feeling overwhelmed by the future. A high-value man understands the balance between the present and future, between what is and what could be. He doesn't get swept up in unrealistic expectations, but instead embraces the opportunity to grow together with her. The fact that she's sharing these thoughts with you is significant. It's a sign that she's already emotionally invested and sees you as someone worth keeping around. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and in this case, you can control your own response to her vulnerability. Acknowledge her hints, reflect on them, and don't shy away from the commitment she's offering if you feel the same way. But remember, Stoic happiness isn't about making decisions based solely on emotions in the moment. It's about careful, thoughtful consideration. If you're truly aligned with her vision, this could be the beginning of something lasting and fulfilling for both of you. In today's world, where relationships often move fast and sometimes fizzle just as quickly, it's a sign of real depth when someone starts talking about a shared future. It means she sees you as someone reliable, someone she can build a life with, and she trusts you to be part of her long-term journey. This is an opportunity to apply Stoicism to your relationships. Remain calm, don't be reactive, and allow things to progress naturally. Don't jump to conclusions or make promises you're not sure you can keep. Instead, embrace her openness as a chance to evaluate your own feelings and desires. This is the mindset of a high-value man, someone who listens carefully, thinks deeply, and acts with purpose. Ultimately, when a woman shares her future plans with you, it's an invitation to deepen your connection. She's not just talking about the next few months. She's talking about a life where you play a central role. This is your chance to build something meaningful together, not by chasing the future, but by being present in the moment and nurturing the relationship as it unfolds. Remember, Stoic happiness is about balance, living in the now while being aware of the possibilities that lie ahead. Embrace her openness, cherish her commitment, and show her that you're just as serious about what lies ahead. And if you found this insight valuable, Make sure to like the video, share it with others who could benefit, and subscribe to Win Stoic. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming content on how to elevate your life and relationships. Remember, becoming a high-value man starts with understanding and applying these lessons. See you in the next video. 7 stupid simple ways to drive her nuts about you. High-value men must know Stoic life lessons. When a girl shares something meaningful with you, it's a sign you're special to her. But understanding these subtle signals is just the beginning. To truly deepen the connection and drive her wild with desire, you need to master a few simple yet powerful strategies. In fact, there are 7 stupid simple ways every high-value man must know to make her think about you constantly. These Stoic life lessons will not only enhance your relationship, but also elevate your confidence and understanding of what truly makes a lasting impact. 1. Hold her accountable before disrespect escalates. One of the biggest mistakes men make is waiting too long to address a woman's disrespectful behavior. They let things slide until the situation becomes unbearable, reaching a point where the disrespect is blatant and overwhelming. But here's the deal. If you want to captivate a woman and keep her intrigued, she needs to know that you're not afraid to hold her accountable at any moment, no matter how good or bad things are in the relationship. Whether the relationship is in a high or low phase, any form of disrespect should be promptly addressed. It's about setting boundaries and maintaining your self-respect. If you ignore disrespect, you're not just allowing her to overstep. You're also signaling that her behavior is acceptable. Now you might wonder, why is this so important? The answer is simple. Women feel secure when they know they're with a man who can assertively call out their bad behavior. Think about it. How can she genuinely respect you if you can't even stand up for yourself and address her actions that make you uncomfortable? If she's acting out and you remain silent, how can she trust you to protect her in more serious situations? Women are incredibly perceptive. They can tell when they are crossing the line. They know when they're testing you, especially if they've been with a man who was assertive and set clear boundaries. When a woman realizes you won't call her out on her behavior, she often sees it as a sign of weakness. In her mind, she starts to categorize you as someone who will tolerate anything for the sake of staying in her good graces, someone who might even compromise his own dignity just for the chance to be close to her. This is where respect begins to erode. Consider this. A woman who's been with a man who always set her straight will quickly recognize when you're not doing the same. In her mind, she's already making comparisons. She might think, that other guy wouldn't let me get away with this, and she starts to lose respect for you. And when respect diminishes, so does her genuine affection. If she still engages with you, it might be out of pity or convenience rather than real attraction or desire. And trust me, no man should settle for being someone's last resort or pity option. You deserve more than to receive half-hearted affection, or pity booty, as some might call it. No one wants to be in a relationship where the other person is just going through the motions, offering up their time and intimacy out of a sense of obligation rather than genuine passion. You need to ask yourself, am I okay with being in a relationship built on pity? As a high-value man, you should seek a relationship filled with mutual respect and enthusiasm. You should want a partner who is genuinely excited to be with you, someone who is energized by your presence and not just offering herself to you out of guilt or pity. If you find yourself settling for anything less, it's time to look in the mirror and ask, am I truly living up to my potential? Don't settle for less than you deserve. A woman is most attracted to a man who respects himself enough to demand respect from her in return. And remember, this isn't just about demanding respect. It's about maintaining a standard of mutual respect that fosters Stoic happiness and a fulfilling relationship. Think about Stoicism today and how it teaches us to remain grounded and true to our values. Would a Stoic man allow disrespect to go unchecked? Would he compromise his principles just to avoid conflict? Absolutely not. A Stoic remains firm, calm, and principled, even in the face of challenging situations. So the next time you encounter disrespect, don't hesitate to address it firmly and respectfully. By doing so, you not only maintain your self-respect, but also build a deeper connection with her based on mutual understanding and respect. How do you think maintaining this balance affects the dynamic of your relationship? Can you see how addressing issues directly can lead to Stoic happiness and a more fulfilling connection? Remember, every action you take defines the boundaries of your relationship. Set them wisely and with purpose, and you'll see the respect and attraction grow in ways you never thought possible. Comment, I agree, if you resonate with this perspective, or I don't think so if you have a different opinion. 2. Master sexual discipline and drive her crazy. One of the most effective yet overlooked ways to drive her absolutely nuts about you is by mastering your desires, specifically your lust. This doesn't mean shutting off your attraction or denying your feelings, but rather cultivating a sense of sexual discipline that places you above the fray of men who are enslaved by their urges. Think of it like this. A man controlled by his lust is like a ship without a captain, drifting aimlessly in the stormy seas of desire. No woman respects a man who is so easily swayed, who is perceived as weak or desperate. The truth is, many women look at these men and see nothing more than playthings, temporary distractions with no substance or depth. The Instagram models whose egos are inflated by likes and comments are just a reflection of how many men have lost sight of their own value. It's not their fault, it's yours for giving them that power over you. When you allow yourself to be so easily drawn in by your desires, you inadvertently lower your value in her eyes. You become just another like, just another face in the crowd of men vying for her attention. You're no longer seen as a person, but as a number, a faceless fan who adds to her ego without demanding anything of substance in return. This dynamic doesn't just diminish your value in her eyes, it diminishes your self-respect. A Stoic life lesson teaches us that true strength lies in self-control. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By exercising control over your desires, you elevate yourself to a new level of respect and admiration. Suddenly, you're not just another guy doing cartwheels to impress her. You're the man who could take it or leave it. And this, gentlemen, is precisely what drives women wild. Why? Because you've shifted the power dynamic. You've become the man who values himself, his time, and his energy too much to waste on fleeting desires. Now she finds herself wanting to prove her worth to you, to gain your attention and approval. The game has changed. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely understanding your worth and refusing to settle for less. When you practice this form of Stoic detachment, you force her to engage with you on your terms. Suddenly, the bargaining price is higher. She's willing to do more, to show more, to be more, just to earn your affection. Remember, men, leverage in any relationship is about maintaining your frame. It's about knowing that your value doesn't come from her approval, but from your self-discipline and self-respect. Women are naturally drawn to this kind of confidence. They respect men who aren't thirsty for validation, who don't need to sleep with every girl they see just to feel like a man. Instead, these men have channeled their energy into personal growth, fitness and self-improvement. They're the ones you see in the gym every day, building not just their bodies, but their minds and spirits as well. They're the ones who don't need to hug every girl they meet, who aren't desperately seeking affection, because they understand that true power lies in restraint. The man she respects and desires is the man who doesn't need to chase her to feel fulfilled. He's the man who is comfortable in his skin, who understands his worth, and who knows that any woman who wants to be a part of his life needs to bring more to the table than just a pretty face. As Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By wanting less, by needing less, and by practicing self-discipline, you become infinitely more valuable. So, start today by embracing this Stoic mindset, understanding what Stoicism truly means, taking control of your mind and desires, and watch how the world, and the women in it, begin to see you differently. 3. Make her compete for your time and attention. To truly drive her nuts about you, she must always feel a need to compete for your time and attention. This doesn't mean you never spend time with her or neglect her needs. Rather, it means she should never feel like she has all of you, no matter how long you've been together. It's about creating a dynamic where your presence is a privilege, not a given. Think about it. If she knows she has you all the time, where's the challenge, the thrill? When a woman senses that she must continually earn your time and affection, it keeps the relationship alive, vibrant, and full of excitement. In my own experience, I have a main girl, but we only see each other on weekends. My schedule is fixed, Saturday night to Monday morning. This routine isn't just a temporary thing, it's a long-term strategy. Why? Because to be a man that women find irresistible, you must always be on a journey, always working on something that fuels your passion and ambition. The moment you become too available, too predictable, the mystery fades. You become routine, and with routine comes boredom. And believe me, there's nothing that kills attraction faster than boredom. A predictable man is a boring man, and a boring man is not someone a woman is going to go crazy over. Excitement, uncertainty, these are the sparks that ignite desire. Call it what you want. Some might even label it as toxic, but this is human nature, the way we're wired. Women are naturally drawn to men who challenge them, who keep them guessing, who aren't an open book. This doesn't mean treating her poorly or playing mind games. It means maintaining a level of unpredictability in your behavior, your plans, your intentions. It means showing her that being with you is not a right, but a privilege she has to earn through her own actions and commitment. To drive her nuts about you, you need to be that man who has his own life, his own pursuits, his own passions. She needs to see that your world doesn't revolve around her, and that if she wants to be a part of your life, she must add value to it. And this isn't about manipulation. It's about maintaining a healthy balance where both partners are continually investing in the relationship. A woman who feels like she has to work for your attention will value it more, and the relationship becomes stronger as a result. Ask yourself, how do you maintain that sense of mystery and excitement in your relationship? How do you keep her feeling like she needs to win you over every day? Remember, Stoic happiness isn't about playing games or being aloof. It's about understanding the dynamics of desire and human connection. Stoicism today teaches us that we should not be overly attached or give all of ourselves away, but instead remain grounded in our purpose and values. By keeping her on her toes, you're not just creating a sense of intrigue, you're also ensuring that the relationship continues to grow and evolve. A woman who feels she needs to compete for your time is a woman who will never take you for granted. She will appreciate your presence more, respect your time, and put in the effort to keep the relationship thriving. So, stay focused on your own journey, pursue your own goals, and let her see that being with you is a journey worth taking. Because when she feels this way, she won't just be with you, she'll be obsessed with you, captivated by the man you are and the man you're becoming. And that, my friend, is the key to Stoic happiness and a fulfilling relationship in the context of Stoicism today. And if you've resonated with this message, drop a comment below or simply type "Be hard to get" to let us know your thoughts. Your feedback is the fuel that drives us to bring you more insights into the Stoic mindset. 4. Never make love. Now, I know some of you might resist this idea, but I want to make love to her, to show her my affection. Let's be real here, gentlemen. If you've ever flipped through a romantic novel, not the Hollywood-style love stories, but those novels women secretly devour, you'll see a different picture. The truth is, women aren't looking for soft, predictable romance. They crave excitement, passion, a touch of the unpredictable. Think about the character they fantasize about, the rugged, confident man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to take it. That's what they desire, not some overly sentimental script straight out of a romantic comedy. Women are wired to seek that thrill, the edge that keeps their adrenaline pumping. When you start indulging in that mushy, lovey-dovey stuff, you're essentially paving the way for her mind to wander. Wander where? To Chad, the muscular guy at the gym who exudes raw masculinity, or Tyrone, who walks with a swagger and a purpose. It's a natural instinct when a woman starts fantasizing about someone else. You're losing her, bit by bit. You can almost sense it, can't you? Her attention drifting, her excitement dulling. It's only a matter of time before she's emotionally or physically led to another man. That's why making love, at least in the conventional sense, isn't your best strategy. You need to be her fixer-upper, the one she turns to for a raw, intense connection, not a bedtime story. When she comes to you, she should feel that electrifying rush, the feeling of being on the edge, ready to be consumed by something powerful and primal. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding what truly drives attraction at a fundamental level. Women don't want the soft approach all the time. They want to feel alive, to be challenged, to be with a man who makes them feel their heart racing. That's the essence of keeping her interested. Maybe, just maybe, make love when she's vulnerable, when she needs comfort, but even then, keep it minimal, almost as a rare gesture. But for the most part, she wants that thrill, that intensity. This isn't about disrespect or being crude. It's about tapping into a psychological and emotional reality. Any man who understands women, who really understands what makes them tick, will tell you the same thing. Women are drawn to a man who can be both a challenge and a comfort. They need that intensity, that passion. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you're thinking like a man who is strong, confident and unapologetically himself, that's the color your interactions will take on. Women are drawn to men who can make them feel deeply and intensely. This isn't something to shy away from embracing. Read those novels they read, understand their fantasies, and see where you fit into that picture. It's about knowing what they desire at their core. When you learn this, you're not just playing a part. You're embodying a powerful Stoic life lesson. Understanding desire, not being swayed by superficial norms, and holding true to what you know women really crave. This is what makes a man irresistible, what makes her come back for more, over and over again. So, be that man, unshakable, confident, and fully aware of what drives true attraction. That's the secret, gentlemen, to drive her nuts about you. 5. Be romantic unexpectedly. To truly captivate a woman's attention, you have to break away from the predictable patterns that most men fall into. Think about it. Many guys, especially those who lack confidence or feel unsure about their value, try to win a woman over by being overly predictable. They shower her with affection or gifts at regular intervals, like clockwork, thinking this consistency shows devotion. But in reality, this predictability kills the excitement. Women crave spontaneity, that thrilling uncertainty that keeps them guessing. So, how do you tap into this? Be romantic unexpectedly. Don't let your acts of love and kindness be something she can mark on her calendar. Surprise her when she least expects it. Imagine this. She's been wonderful, supportive, and loving. She's been there for you, cooking your favorite meals, giving you those much-needed back rubs after a long day. And then, out of nowhere, you say, "Pack your bags. We're going to Europe this weekend." Or, "Guess what? I've planned a little getaway for us, all expenses paid." That kind of unexpected romance. It's intoxicating. It drives her wild because it's not something she sees coming. It's something she feels she has earned through her love and care. This isn't about being flashy or reckless with your money. It's about creating moments that stir up emotion, moments that she will treasure because they feel earned and meaningful. Women love romance, there's no denying that. But what they don't love is when it becomes mundane, something they can predict down to the day and time. Routine romance loses its charm. It becomes another item on a to-do list rather than a spontaneous gesture that comes from the heart. When a woman is genuinely contributing to your life, being there for you, and showing her value, that's when you surprise her with something special. It doesn't have to be grand or expensive every time sometimes. It's the little things, the small tokens of appreciation that make her feel valued and cherished. And let's be clear, being generous or romantic doesn't make you a simp. You become a simp when you give without her earning it, when you shower her with things that require no effort or commitment on her part. It's not about withholding love. It's about ensuring that your affection is matched with effort and sincerity from her side. And here's where a lot of people misunderstand the idea of the red pill. It's not about being cold or cruel to women. It's about understanding dynamics, knowing that mutual respect comes from a balance of give and take. When you understand this, you'll see that keeping a woman's interest isn't about constant appeasement. It's about giving her something to strive for. A woman who knows she has to earn your affection, who knows that your acts of kindness and love come from a place of genuine appreciation for what she brings to the table, will value you far more than if you're always there, always giving, with nothing required of her in return. If you're always buying her gifts or doing nice things right from the start, without her having shown any effort or commitment, she might appreciate it momentarily, but it won't last. She might tolerate it, but eventually the lack of challenge, the absence of needing to earn your validation, will bore her. But if you're the kind of man who knows when to be generous, who knows when to surprise her, who knows the value of unpredictability, then you're the kind of man who keeps her constantly thinking, constantly intrigued, and constantly engaged. So, ask yourself, are you being too predictable in your romance? Are you giving without ensuring it's earned? Consider the thrill of unexpected moments and how they can breathe new life into your relationships. 6. Never show jealousy. Listen up, my friend, because this is where so many guys trip up. Women are looking for a man who is solid, unshaken by their emotional ups and downs. Jealousy, at its core, is about insecurity. It's when you're not confident in who you are or where you stand with her, leading you to obsess over what she's doing when you're not around. But understand this clearly. Showing jealousy doesn't make you look protective. It makes you look insecure. It's like saying, "I'm not sure I'm good enough for you, so I'm worried you might find someone better." That's not the Stoic mindset we're aiming for here. A high-value man, someone who embodies the win Stoic philosophy, knows his worth and doesn't need to constantly check up on his partner to feel secure. Now, this doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. Let's get one thing straight: if she's openly flirting with another guy in front of you, or if she's crossing boundaries, that's not something you just brush off. That's not jealousy, that's disrespect, plain and simple. And a high-value man does not entertain disrespect. If she steps out of line like that, you don't get emotional. You don't start a fight. You simply walk away. You make it clear that you don't need to prove anything or seek validation from her actions. "Okay, it was nice knowing you," is all you need to say as you calmly show her the door. This is what it means to live with a Stoic mindset, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. But jealousy, that's a whole different game. And it's one you should never play. Jealousy is when you start suspecting her without any real proof, snooping through her phone or interrogating her about her whereabouts. It's wasted energy. It's letting your insecurities drive your actions. A woman respects a man who is so focused on his own growth and purpose that he doesn't have the time or inclination to play detective. Think about it. Why waste your energy worrying about what she might be doing when you could use that same energy to become a better version of yourself? Isn't it more powerful to work on becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts loyalty and respect? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Apply that here. Don't waste your time overthinking her actions. Instead, live your life in such a way that she would never even consider looking elsewhere. And if she does, you let her go. There's no drama, no begging, no pleading. You simply move on, knowing that you bring enough value to the table that she will be the one regretting her choices. The key to a Stoic approach in relationships is to maintain your inner peace and strength. If she ever brings disrespect into your life, you act decisively not out of anger or fear, but from a place of self-respect. Can you see the difference? It's not about being passive or letting things slide. It's about being so confident in who you are that you don't need to seek validation or reassurance from her. You're secure in yourself, and because of that, you are able to walk away without a second thought when the line is crossed. So the next time you're tempted to question what she's doing or who she's with, ask yourself, is this the Stoic path, or am I letting my insecurities get the best of me? Remember, the best way to drive her nuts about you is to show that you are unshakable, that you value yourself enough not to play games or get caught up in petty emotions. Be the man who is so focused on his own growth and purpose that he doesn't need to control or monitor anyone else. Are you ready to embody this Stoic mindset and live as a high-value man? The choice is yours. Share your experiences or simply type Stoic happiness in the comments to let us know you're on this journey with us. Your insights are what keep this community thriving, and together we can continue to explore how Stoicism today shapes our lives in meaningful ways. 7. Walk away from her at least once. In life, demonstrating your willingness to walk away from a woman, even just once, can be one of the most powerful moves you make. No woman, no matter how drawn she may be to you, will truly fall in love if she senses that you are never willing to end things when necessary. This is where the essence of Stoic happiness and Stoicism today comes into play. Women will often test your resolve. It's almost inevitable. At some point, regardless of how feminine or supportive she might appear, she will challenge your boundaries. This moment is critical because it's when you must show her that you are serious about your principles. She might do something disrespectful, or she might push you to see if you'll stand your ground. Your response should be clear and resolute. You walk away. For some women, this is enough. A single instance of standing firm can solidify your position in her eyes. Truly feminine women, those who respect a man's strength and values, understand this well. They know that a man who values his boundaries is one to be valued himself. However, for those who constantly test the waters, especially the more dominant personalities, you may need to demonstrate your willingness to leave more than once. These are the types who might even thrive on a man's departure as a game, a test of their power over him. But here's the truth. You don't want to engage in a constant power struggle. You're not looking for a thrill seeker. You're looking for a woman who appreciates a strong, stoic man, a man who knows his worth and who isn't afraid to enforce his boundaries. When you tell her it's over because she's crossed the line, mean it. Walking away isn't about waiting for her to beg for you back. It's about you moving forward, knowing that you stood up for your values. Don't walk away and then start counting the days of no contact, hoping she will miss you. That's not truly walking away. That's employing a tactic with the expectation of a reward. True strength, true Stoic happiness, comes from the ability to walk away and keep walking without looking back. Women recognize the power in a man who will not compromise his principles. And when a woman knows that if she disrespects you or your boundaries, you won't hesitate to leave, she will be far less likely to test those boundaries again. This certainty in your actions is what makes you a high-value man, someone who demands respect through his actions, not his words. Now think about your daily life. How often do you let minor transgressions slide because you fear losing someone's favor? This isn't just about romantic relationships. It applies to friendships, work, and all areas of your life. Imagine a scenario where you're at work and a colleague continually undermines you or takes credit for your ideas. You address it once, calmly and professionally, but if it continues, do you just accept it? Or do you stand your ground, showing that you won't tolerate disrespect? The principle is the same. Walking away or choosing to disengage from situations or people who don't respect your boundaries shows strength of character and self-worth. It communicates that you value yourself too much to allow repeated disrespect. In relationships, this approach fosters respect and admiration because it shows you are not afraid to be alone rather than compromise your values. So, let me ask you, are you willing to walk away when your boundaries are crossed? Or do you find yourself making excuses, hoping things will change without action? Remember, Stoicism today teaches us that our happiness and peace come from within, not from external validation or the fear of loss. Stand firm, know your worth, and don't be afraid to walk away when necessary. In the end, you'll find that this is not just about commanding respect from others, but also about respecting yourself enough to demand it. And there you have it, guys, 7 incredibly straightforward yet powerful ways to make her absolutely crazy about you. By focusing on these simple strategies, you can build deeper connections and become the high-value man who effortlessly captures her attention. Remember, these aren't just tactics. They are grounded in Stoic life lessons that promote self-awareness, confidence, and authenticity. So why not start applying them to your daily life and see the difference for yourself? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What's worked for you? Or what are you excited to try? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Win Stoic for more practical insights on personal growth and happiness. See you next time, guys.